Matty Ice.
Is that what we're calling him?
That's what they called him.
Well, look, I don't. Let me get on mic. I don't necessarily know. That collapse wasn't his fault. That was the defense's fault.
No, it was his fault. Plus, the defense was gassed.
Oh,
But
you need this?
oh, in case I have an emergency.
I don't. Now, wait a minute, though. I mean,
The defense was
they
gassed.
were up 28-3, so the defense let the Patriots score all those points. And
I'll make this easier for you. Name somebody on the Atlanta Falcons defense. We can't, so we're blaming Matt Ryan. That's how football works, Ken.
Look, the Patriots defense stepped up. Matt still made some amazing throws. What's his face made that awesome catch. They were still trying.
His
to
name's
play.
Julian Edelman.
No, Julio Jones. Julio Jones made that one sideline catch that Matt Ryan threw to him. Remember?
Julian Edelman made the
that
catch
was a better catch
of the
course.
century.
Yes, that was the catch of the history of football.
Right.
Actually,
Even better than the helmet catch.
it was. I'm glad you. Oh God, of
Fuck
course you
Eli
know that.
Manning. I hope this is recording. If you're listening, Eli Manning, fuck you.
Yeah, we come in hot. Let me make sure it actually is. But yeah, I don't. I think you've at least watched one of them, so I don't do an intro. We just come in live. But let me make sure it's actually recording.
Just want to establish my dominance over the Manning family.
And yes, we're a minute 35 in.
Well, that'll wrap it up. This has been brought to you by Monster Energy Drink and 9.5 pH Balance Smart Water. They're on my contract rider.
Oh my God. No, he did bring a rider, but I gave him drumsticks and veggies and hummus because I'm trying to be healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
This
We
will
all
be-
know Don doesn't eat veggies.
I can fix you.
Carrots almost killed me.
That's so not true.
It is too.
Unless you choked on one
I'm
of those.
anaphylactic allergic to carrots. I went to the hospital for them.
And funny enough, I did not select carrots. I got you bell peppers, broccoli, and cucumber.
They're all in the same department as carrots, so they're close enough. for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Some of the same.
No, you buy them in the
chemicals?
same area of the store.
Yeah, they might cross contamination.
I take vitamins. That's why I remain so fit and healthy.
That's fine. That's fine. So guess what, Don? You are going to be, because I think you were the only one that maybe saw it a couple of weeks ago when I posted that solo one of me playing guitar. But then I immediately, like within 24 hours, I removed it because I thought it was stupid. So that was going to be episode 30, but now you are going to be episode number 30 on the 4-Hour Loved Ones podcast.
This makes it your first ever 30 for 30.
Holy, how are you so gosh damn quick?
I'm the goat.
That was good.
Yeah.
You think I can sell it to ESPN?
Nope. We met no contract infringement whatsoever.
Oh my gosh. So my longtime friend and DJ mentor, also mentor in so many aspects of just how to be a better man and how to have a better relationship. And Pam is so thankful that we knew you.
I'm not sure what I did to help because I was a
You were just amazing.
degenerate asshole.
No, stop it. We were not. So yeah, my buddy Don, met him in 2011 when I first started DJing at Puff's Pub in Gresham, and there are so many great stories and just.
Let me show you what you're doing wrong and what you could do right
I
here.
cannot wait for you to tell me how
On
to
the
make
DJing.
podcast
No, on
better.
the DJing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
Yes.
you were right.
Yes.
Because
Let me
Don
show you a
had
few
a lot
things.
more experience. I was basically a push play iPod DJ when I first met him, and he showed me a ton of tricks and a lot of how to mix and running sound on the music. Got the music choices. I didn't know what I was playing when I first got there.
Got to tell a story.
I did do it, please.
No, it's like your music has to tell a story. You got to control the flow of the bar.
Yeah.
If there's a line at the bar, you got to get them on the dance floor. If
Yes.
the dance floor's full, can't keep it full forever. Bar doesn't make any money.
You got to have some breaks. You can't keep high energy for 5 hours.
No.
There has to be an ebb and flow.
You save the Cupid Shuffle for when there's a line at the
What
bar.
if you just never play the gosh damn Cupid Shuffle? I, to this day, cannot stand that or the wobble.
That's why you do what I do. And you loop it to the right, to the right, to
Yes,
the
and
right
they run
until
into
they
the wall.
crash.
So
So you never learn that one.
I know I would do it, but not every time.
Do you know what I would never do as a DJ? yell at deaf people on the dance floor to get their drinks off the dance floor, then turn the music off and yell at them that I'm not going to play the music again until you guys get off the dance floor.
Frick and frack.
And there's 11 deaf people having a great time.
I don't think it was 11. Wasn't it more like 5 or 6?
I don't know. It felt like the weight
right.
of the earth because I was right there next to you.
I forgot about that.
It was the greatest moment in your career.
Now I'm fucking embarrassed.
Now you crossed over from DJ Censor to DJ Asshole, and I was so proud of you because I wouldn't even do that.
It was. There was oh God.
It was Leanne and a bunch of her friends.
Oh, Jesus.
But they were cool. You know, they understood that you didn't know.
Not one of my finer moments.
You wanted to do this podcast with me.
No, I'm glad you brought that up, actually. Oh, geez, you're right. And that actually is a perfect example, and we can probably both talk about this. The years of, I was doing it for 15 years. I mean, there was a lot of karaoke nights. There was a karaoke and, like, pushing play as a DJ. Only the last few years, after getting a lot of help from you, and then, of course, Oh So Fresh to help me. It was only the last few years where I actually was kind of being a real DJ. But most of it was just pushing play and then doing karaoke. But that environment, just not healthy. I met a lot of good people. Obviously, you're one of them. Had a lot of fun, but I look back on it. Do you have that cringe?
Of course.
Cringe.
Of course.
And that's a big topic. I've been in therapy for 7 friggin' years. A big topic in with both of my therapists is learning how to kind of either let go or learn how to deal with the shame and guilt. Because I just look back on a lot of the stuff, who I was and what I was doing. And I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking?
100%. I do the same thing. In fact, I told you I wasn't going to go too deep, and then you're going to make me go deep because I want to give you a great example of cringe.
Okay.
So when you're in the bar industry, everybody's your best friend. You got people hanging all over you. You're the best. I love you. And then when you're not drinking anymore, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Because you're not your drinking buddies.
Yeah.
And so I had a huge drinking problem. I quit drinking a little over 6 years ago. I'm in AA. I'm getting my 6-month coin.
And I was actually, so you know what my podcast is about. You've listened to Kristen's, but not mine.
Bits and pieces.
So for our loved ones, I want you to finish that story, but the point is to talk to you, to hear about you, hear your origin story, talk about yourself, talk about how you grew up, the people that were important to you, whether it was friends or family, important moments in your life, how you became who you are. And it's whatever you want to talk about. And the whole point is that we can capture it now in a digital form that can be passed on so that generations after this can hear you tell your story instead of just hearing anecdotes from people that knew you.
Sure.
But also what's important is don't share anything you're not comfortable with. I'm not trying to get into dirt, talk about whatever you want to.
I've never had sex with another man.
But go ahead.
That I'm aware of.
Yeah.
So,
geez. Well, you were drunk that night.
I'm in AA. Okay, 6-month coin, big deal. I got to tell my story of why I'm sober.
Yeah.
Sitting next to me is somebody that used to call me their best friend all the time. I won't name names.
No names. We're not doing names.
And I had to tell my story. All these people told me they were my best friends, and when shit hit the fan, where are they at now? He happened to be sitting next to me. I could feel him shrink in his seat. Oh. But I had to tell my story.
Yeah, it wasn't. You weren't doing it on purpose.
The universe put him there to put an exclamation point on why I was.
And he was obviously kind of in the same place you were.
No, he wasn't, because I never saw him again.
Oh, was that his first and only meeting then? Maybe
I don't know, but I never saw him in that meeting again.
Okay, maybe for comfort levels, he found another group to go to. Let's hope. So, but okay. So anyway,
so the universe has a way of throwing you moments to where you look back and it really brings things full circle.
Yes. And it's a lot of it. It's personal growth, I think. And a lot of it is a mindset, because when I was doing it, God, I mean, for the most of the time I was single. And then of course I met Pam in 2011 and then that eventually, thank God for her. But I just had a different mindset. It was okay to stay up until 3 or 4 a.m. and just
sleep till 11, 12 o'clock.
Sleep till 2,
okay.
And drink 5 nights a week, if not more, and just go play music and hang out in a bar. And again, I'm not, oh my God, just people that might eventually hear this. I'm not judging. And I had a lot of fun and met a lot of good people. And But
It's not
I
a
look back,
sustainable decades and
it's
decades
not
career.
a healthy lifestyle.
It's not.
Especially once you get into your friggin' 40s. I'm like, what am I doing?
And then here I get roped back into it sober. And it's fun because I enjoy mixing music. I enjoy creating a 15-minute story,
Yes.
you know, and mixing in different genres and creating new music. And they go, hey, who was that mix you were playing? Well, that was me. I was doing it live. And those
Yeah.
are the greatest feelings.
Oh, absolutely.
Or, you know, you take a break real quick, you go in the bathroom, and dudes are in there dancing because of the music you're playing while they're pissing.
Yes.
Those are the moments. They seem trivial, but they're important.
No, they're amazing.
And then after an hour, people start talking to me more, and I want to go home because I'm not on their level anymore.
Yes.
So,
Yes. That oh my God, that is the hardest thing. Like, no names, but I have stopped in. Oh, because last August, me and a friend went to see a concert at Edgefield. It was Maggie Rogers. I learned about her literally a week before I went to the concert, and she's awesome. Anyway, after that, on the way back from Edgefield, we stopped at Puff's because I'd been hearing it's a total remodel, it's a different environment, and I just wanted to check it out. And somebody we worked with is still working there. She is completely sober, I think. It was really good to see her, but I have to say, I'm amazed. I'm like, I don't know how you work in this environment. How do you do it?
it's extra kind of strong. I've been following that sober journey, and I'm quite proud of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm super impressed. And they are a sweetheart. Really happy for them and their family. But it did make me think.
It's a tough environment to be in. It really is.
Do it. No. That's why I just had to get. Even when I got out of that, before I got on full time at Costco, I was still dabbling in working for a brewery and working at a tap room, and even that, which it wasn't nearly as bad as the DJ thing, but it was still being in that environment and just the opportunity to drink more than you should, and then at times that you shouldn't.
My favorite also is, you know, you're not security, but you are security.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing.
Well, okay, and
the fact that you and I never got beat up or shot is amazing.
Weren't we both in the bar when that poor guy got shot?
Different times. I was there for shooting. You were there for shooting.
But you weren't there when I was there.
No.
Oh, thank God.
I was there for shooting in the parking lot. You were there for shooting inside
the friggin' bar.
Yeah. Bullet Hill's still there,
that's
too.
Something else I was thinking about doing this podcast here. It was like both of us have a lot of those there by the grace of God go us, where some of it I'll attribute to that for the most part we were, even if we're in that environment and having drinks, we both sometimes would let emotions and we'd make poor choices. But for the most part, we usually made better choices than a lot of other people did. There was a couple of times where I would get into a place after having a few drinks, and like I remember, because I just was over people walking out the front of Puff's Pub with their drinks to smoke. And one night I'd had it, and I just literally went out there and ripped the glass out of the guy's hand and said, "You can't have drinks out here." He could have kicked my ass, but I was so angry that I wasn't thinking rationally or reasonably. And we both had those moments. When the girl told you to stop bumping into her, and I
turned around and said, "You're not
like,
pretty
you're
enough."
Not hot enough for me to bump into.
And she socked me in the face.
And
then her boyfriend spun me around and socked me. And none of them were hitting me hard enough, and I didn't know what to do.
You had your hands up, and you were protecting, and you were like, "I know in a second somebody's going to come stop this."
You're not pretty enough to talk to me like that.
Oh my God.
I learned that from a very tall, bearded friend of ours. I won't name names, but I heard him say that once, and yeah. Don't ever say that to a woman.
Oh my!
You'll get punched in the face. I've tested it. It's official. Don't ever say that. And if you happen to be listening to this, I apologize greatly. You are pretty enough to be talking to me.
She was cute. So,
yes.
but it was, the situation might have.
There are many cringe moments where we're not proud of our behavior.
Yeah, there is. Jesus.
But we take those battle scars with us, and we learn.
And
we wouldn't be where we're at now without those war wounds.
Exactly, because I think when something good or bad happens to you, you have a choice of how you want to move forward on that, because you can learn from both of them. So even if it's a good moment, you can learn. If it's a bad moment,
here's how I treat my life. Looking back on it, I treat my life as a Disney movie. If you look at every Disney movie, something terrible has to happen before something great happens. Everything's great, and then you bite into an apple. World falls apart, but it works out.
Yeah.
So something always has to happen. You can't be charmed your whole life.
Well, because if you are, well, number one, that's not real. But if you are charmed your whole life, you don't learn anything. If you're never
Correct.
challenged or never had to have struggles or bad experiences,
And everybody's got a struggle of their own.
that's how you grow.
Now, we may not think that the struggles they had were, on par with us or whatever, but they're their struggles.
And
that's
everybody's struggles are going to be unique to them.
Correct.
And it's going to affect them uniquely. And we can't perceive what it did to them.
there's a lot of people that don't grow from it. They just keep making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're getting at. Luckily, I like to think I've grown from it and
I
became
think we
a
both
better
totally
human
have.
over it
Of
overall.
course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the point of life. What's the point of this, 75, 80 years on the planet if we're not going to become a better person? Every gosh damn
If you're not
opportunity.
making an attempt to make somebody's day better, then what are you even doing?
Right. Yeah.
How do you expect somebody to do it for you?
Yep. So again, for our loved ones, I do want to get into a little bit of the origin story.
Origin story brought to you by Monster Energy Drink.
Oh my God. You better be getting paid for this.
No, it's a free plug.
Well, then Monster better pay me. You're from the Portland area, but I don't remember what high school you went to.
I was born in California, moved to Oregon when I was 6.
Okay. Do you have any memories of California?
I do have.
What city?
Fresno. That's outside of Fresno.
Okay.
A town called Fowler.
Okay. I know. I was a truck driver for a while, so I know Fresno. I don't necessarily remember that stuff.
Fowler is like Salem.
Is it right off the 99 south of Fresno?
I don't know roads. I was 6, Ken.
Oh, yeah. But you said you had memories of
I
it.
do.
Come on.
We had a cow that my dad got to butcher,
Okay.
and then we named him Blackie. Can't kill Blackie. Somehow he disappeared, and we had a lot of meat.
Yes.
We had rabbits. We had chickens.
Nice.
We had little thing going on there.
Okay.
And then
I should know this, but I was also thinking about this before the podcast. Siblings.
what is it?
Siblings.
Siblings. I have a younger sister and 2 older sisters. My
Okay.
father was married before my mom. He
Okay.
lost his wife in a tragic accident by a drunk driver in a stolen car.
Okay.
And then later he married my mom. And we
Okay.
inherited the sisters.
So 2 of your sisters are
Our
full and one's half?
one sister, my younger sister's full.
Okay.
My 2
The
are on
older
my
ones
dad's
are
side,
half.
yes.
Okay.
But
got
they
it.
were raised by my mom as her own children. They were
Right.
like 6 and 8 years old.
Okay.
Could be wrong, but pretty young.
Okay. So moved up to the Portland area when you were 6 years old?
We moved to the Salem before it was the Salem, when it was just Salem.
Yeah.
Now it's the Salem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we eventually, my parents bought houses, flipped houses. I've
Okay.
lived everywhere all over Portland. Tualatin, Salem, Beaverton.
So they moved up
Tigard.
here for a job opportunity? Is that kind of what it was?
Nope,
or-
they just like flipping houses.
Oh, and that's
They get
where-
bored of a house, go to another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They do some fixing up to it. They buy a new house. That's no fun. Nothing
Okay.
we can do here. Get an old house, remodel it,
Yeah.
move on to the next one.
And then, so for your high school years, you ended up in the Portland area.
Right. And in high school, I attended a semester at Wilson, which
Okay.
was a great school. Then
Yeah.
we moved because I was in that area for my 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Oh my gosh, shall it? Because we are about the same age. So let's do this. I don't want to sidetrack you, but Stoudemire. But
Dame-
he was younger than you.
Damon Stoudemire,
He went to Wilson.
he does not my class.
He was-
He's much younger than the both of us.
Well, I graduated in 90. You were 91? Or you were 88?
I was supposed to graduate in 89, but because I didn't feel I was educated enough, I went back for another semester. Some call it a super senior. So I graduated in
Exactly.
90.
And you are super. But there was Wilson. So Damon was younger, but didn't Wilson have somebody else that was a really good basketball player when you were there? Because
Yeah.
I was a sports geek when I was in high school.
I can't
so-
remember. I didn't follow basketball at the time then much.
Okay. But you were only at Wilson for a short time.
One semester.
And then what?
Roosevelt,
Which is what part of
North Portland. Deep in North Portland.
Oh,
Right at the
okay.
explosion of the gang activities in North Portland. It was an interesting school.
Oh wow.
And that's where I went from nerd to cool motherfucker.
And that was. Did you finish high school there?
No, I was there through my senior year. I was a little bit of a troublemaker, but more of a prankster, and
You still are.
ended up transferring to Madison and concluding my studies there at Madison. So Wilson,
Okay.
Roosevelt, Madison.
Okay. All in the Portland area though. After high school, what happened? First thing, just go into the working world. Was college even a consideration?
I got a job as a dance instructor for ballroom dancing at Arthur Murray.
That's right.
Right.
You are a dancer. Oh my God. Yes.
So they trained me up because I did no ballroom dance experience, but I had dance experience because I was dancing all the time on the weekends.
Yes.
We had little dance routines, so they trained me up with free dance lessons, And I sold this to my parents because I got $15 every lesson, and they were 15 minutes long. So I'm making $60 an hour in the 90s. The problem is you don't get paid unless you're instructing. So if I don't have people to instruct.
Oh, right.
So I did that for as long as I could.
Yeah.
And then I met my ex-wife, got her pregnant.
Yeah.
My dad looked at me and said, "You tired of messing around? You want a real job? It's time to sell cars."
Okay.
That's what my dad did for a long time. He worked in different aspects of the car dealerships. Made a phone call, went and interviewed, had a job in the car business.
And are we talking 20, 21? How old are you at this time?
20.
20 years? Okay.
Maybe. Yeah,
oh my
20.
gosh, so we both had kids about the same age. I had my daughter when I was just before I turned 20. I was 19, and you had your first son at 19 or 20?
I was 91 when he was born.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
Wow, there's way too many.
I was not 21 when he was born.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yes.
Anyway, get the job at the car dealership.
And then start selling cars, have another child. First son's Donald. Shout out Donald Michael David Nutt.
Hell yeah.
We named him Donald Michael David Nutt so we could sign his name Donald Nutt MD. Give him a head start.
I actually think that's true.
He's not a doctor, but he became a medical assistant for a time, so I was close. And then we had Nathan Alexander, who I wanted to name Nick because Nick Nutt sounds awesome.
Have you told our Nick that? That's a great story.
Probably. We ended up with Nate Nutt, which was still pretty awesome.
Yes.
And then we had Dominic Nutt because I still wanted a Nick because Nick Nutt sounds awesome. It never stuck. But
at least you got that part of it.
Right. I was close. I tried to the bitter end. I tried.
Dominic's a great name. I mean, they're all great names, but yes.
So I spent 4 or 5 years in the sales department selling cars, and I decided I don't want to be a career car salesman like my father, and started learning as much as I could about finance and that part until I got a job. I had a goal to be a finance manager somewhere by the time I was 25.
Okay.
And I missed it by 3 weeks.
But
so
you got the position.
I got the job in 1995. I was one of the youngest finance managers in town.
Wow.
And did really well, learned all the aspects of a dealership. I wanted to learn every position. Kind of like a universal soldier. And then poked around in the car business as a finance manager, as a sales manager. I ran some lots for a time.
Yeah.
And then the crash of 2008 came. And
so it wasn't just housing. That hit everything.
Everything came. And a couple years, let me back up. A couple years before that, I got recruited to the Auto Trader magazine as a commercial sales manager.
You were still dabbling in that when I first met you.
Right. So the crash came. The Auto Trader pulled the plug on the magazine nationwide. Gave me a great severance package. It was the best time ever getting fired because I got unemployment and my regular paycheck for months. I didn't know what to do with myself. I went to Vegas twice.
You had a lot of free time.
I went to Vegas twice.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was in the same month. That's what we do.
Why wouldn't you?
Right. So then a couple guys put their 401ks together and kept a magazine going, and I went to work for them.
Okay.
Covering a territory. And that's when I was no longer married, and kids were teenagers, so I just sized my life way down into an apartment.
Right.
And very little bills. And that's when the DJing.
I was going to say, how did you get into the DJ thing?
That's a different story arc. I got like 15 chapters in my life.
Yeah. We'll have to do another episode at least, maybe 3 more.
Probably. So back in the late 90s, I met one of my best friends, probably my best friend, John Priest, in the car business.
Even though you hate him.
My first day. Guy shows up late, and they're like, "What are you doing late?" "Oh, my alarm didn't go off, blah, blah, blah. The power went out." Call his apartment complex and see if the power actually went out.
Wait.
This is John.
John showed up late?
John showed up late, and they're like, "Why are you late?" "Well, the power was out at my place. My alarm didn't go off." And the general manager's like, "Call his apartment manager and find out if the power was off." This is the kind of environment the car business was at the time. So I was like, we have to be friends. So we became friends. And we were always interested in parties and music, and I had such an assortment of CDs and music at the time. So
with your dance background, you were always into music.
Always into music and dance.
Yeah.
Always. In fact, let me back up a little bit. John Priest and I were at the Copper Penny one night. We got kicked out because we were on the dance floor dancing without a girl. So you guys can't do that here.
And is this in the mid-90s?
Yeah. They said, "Oh, well, we're just dancing. We're
What's
not
the
bothering
problem?
anybody. We're just doing
We're not yelling? We're not
doing a little dance off."
Wow.
Yeah. I haven't thought about that for a long time.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
Anyway.
Shout out to Dance Off.
Yes.
I still won. So we have this party. He has this basic DJ gear, and I've got all the music, and we start having a party.
Now, is this still in the early 90s or
This
late
is
90s?
this is
2000?
no, this is like 98.
When you say he has basic DJ gear,
2 CD players.
CD players.
CD
Okay,
players.
and a fader, so you can go back and forth, or just 2 that you have to push play on?
CD players.
Just 2.
And I've got racks of music.
Push play on this one.
I got racks of music, so it was a combination effort. We start having a party, and we run out of beer, start passing a hat around, go get another keg. We have all this extra money now. Let's buy more stuff. Wow. And then more stuff and more stuff. Then we start throwing bigger parties. And then we're hanging out at Puff's, and I don't like the DJ. I'm like, this guy's terrible. And I tell the manager at the time, I'll do it for free for one night. You pick the night, I'll do it for free and show you what it's really going to be like. What
it should be.
And then I got hired immediately.
Wow.
And then
then it goes.
And then it just starts blossoming.
Wow.
And I was just a button pusher then too, but I knew how to work the mic. I knew how to engage the crowd.
Yes.
Being in sales, I know the psyche.
You know how to talk to people.
I know how to make things fun.
Yes.
So that's how the DJ career started, and just started blossoming.
But Puffs was the first one.
Puffs was the first commercial gig I had.
Oh my gosh! And then, but you also ended up at.
We did the Christmas party. That's what we did for free. We did the Christmas party.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's what did it.
But you also ended up right down the road at the other.
At Lucky's.
It used to be called Lucky's, then it became a country bar or whatever.
Right. So when it was Lucky's, I had a buddy go over there, end up being the manager. He's like, I want you over here. You're going to help promote parties and this, and that, and the other. And I was ready. I was already too big for my britches at Puffs. So I hired a DJ there, and I hired 2 DJs there to rotate. And I went to Lucky's where I had the 300 people, the wet T-shirt contest.
Yes.
It was just...
Debauchery.
It was so much fun. You were jealous as hell, weren't you?
I
would empty Puffs. But they would come to start at Puffs, and then by 11, you were empty.
The stories of the contest and just the nights of debauchery that you had at Lucky's. I'm like, oh, my. Well, okay, but I feel like I don't know. I know it happened organically. I don't know. Was it you that gave me the name DJ Censor? But it happened organically. Somebody at Puffs gave me that name.
I don't know if it was me or Nick or Lenny. Rest in peace.
Because. Right. Might have been Lenny, but I liked it.
You would never curse.
I would never curse on the mic, but also I was the one that was always like, oh, no, we can't have wet T-shirt contests. People might see their nipples through the shirt. I was that guy.
We had the police department come in on the wet T-shirt contest and want to know when the party was because they're going to stand at the door and make sure everything's okay.
Oh, is that what they were going to do?
Yes. Just no pictures, no nothing.
Right. That's free security.
4 or 5 cops at the door, standing over the crowd watching what we do.
I don't believe you. The cops aren't like that.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so you're rolling. But at this point, when you were heavy into the DJing at Lucky's and all that stuff, were you still the car business and auto trader?
At the time, I was doing the magazine. It was a magazine where dealers advertised in.
Right.
So, and I had sized my lifestyle down so much. It was such a small amount that I needed to live on.
Right.
But I was still making good money doing the magazine and doing the DJing. Because the DJing is all cash. And then doing those parties, I would get the door.
Yeah.
And that's where the money was.
Yep.
I would provide all the prizes, all the advertisements. The fun thing is I make all the beer sponsors provide the shirts.
Because you already understood marketing and all that stuff.
I go to local businesses, tattoo companies, Aardvark.
Oh, my God.
How would you guys like to be sponsor of a bar and bring out your portfolio? You just got to give out a couple of gift certificates that people probably won't use.
Oh, wow.
And that's how you get the hairdressers, all that. In fact, fast forward when 2nd Street wanted me to do a party. They're like, how come you don't do a party? I'm like, you guys aren't ready. I'll do a party. I'll just do a random night in July. Flip-flops and bikini tops. And I was like, here's the genius. If a girl shows up and she goes, I didn't know it was a bikini top party. Well, if you don't have a bikini top and you want to go swimming, what do? I just swim in my bra.
Yeah.
It's like girls running around in bras and bikini tops.
Oh, my God.
And I had a tattoo company and a hairstylist come in and sponsor it and give out some free swag that no one ever cashed in. So but people were excited to get a tattoo and their hair done and their nails done. And
it was free advertisement, but it didn't cost them anything.
It didn't cost me anything.
Or them, even the business.
It didn't cost anybody anything.
If nobody redeemed the coupon.
It's all bartering.
Oh, my God.
And then my marketing.
Yes.
I'd make my own flyers. They look like Las Vegas club flyers. Remember I'd make them into giant-sized posters.
Yes. Okay, so this is fun. We can talk about because how we met. It was when I forgot. Oh, Mike May had the contract for Puffs, but then I was working other places for him, and he brought me in to just do. I just started there doing karaoke. I wasn't even doing the weekends. I think I was doing Sunday and Thursdays as karaoke. That was it at first.
I think that's how we met because Sunday was an industry night, so me and a bunch of other people would be up there near you,
Yes,
doing our Sunday thing, Sunday Fun Day.
yes, and I was brought in because I mean I don't know if it was Rob or whoever wanted to introduce karaoke, and I think Mike May was like, oh, I have a guy that can do karaoke because I think Mike was still doing Friday and Saturdays dance night.
Mini disc.
Yes,
Mini disc Mike.
Mini disc Mike. And then at some point I just took over the whole contract. But yeah, this is so funny because I will give you credit for this because I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I first started there. You were perfect about offering advice and encouragement without being overbearing, which is shocking for you because you're overbearing.
Thanks.
But you were always... You were actually always pretty cool to me.
I was a lot back then. I was a lot back then.
But you didn't know. You knew I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Well,
but you were.
I could tell. I liked you the minute I met you, so that's why I was nice to you.
Right. I think you knew I wasn't a douchebag. I was a decent guy who was just clueless. And
you just didn't have anybody.
Potential.
You just haven't learned yet.
Right.
I was there right where you were. I hadn't learned.
Yes.
I didn't have anybody to show me. I had to learn on my own.
Yeah. Yeah, but that. Oh my God, it was. You were always super cool, very encouraging, and then had the smart ass sense of humor, which I also have. Yeah, you were always awesome. And it was years. And then I loved how, as I would slowly take baby steps, because when I first got there, I was just using my laptop with cheesy software and pushing play. And then eventually I got my first MixTrack Pro, my first little Tonka toy fake plastic mixer.
They were so cute.
They were precious.
And
it had the sync button.
It does make things easier.
Looking back, you had to just be out there going, "Oh, Ken, oh, that's really cute."
I used to always tell you that. You have a cute mixer there, buddy. That's cute. And then, you know what? In full circle, I ended up using one too, but I, used the new Mark Pro. The really nice.
I still have.
You have the NS6.
I still have my NS6.
See, those were just too big for me. I could never go to those.
Oh, they were awesome. But
I like showing up with a backpack.
Right.
That's what I liked.
Yeah, because I had to get a whole flight case for that. But it did. Number one, the sound was better, and it was easier to work with.
So those MixTrack Pros, those MixTracks, they evolved to where they had their own sound cards built in. You didn't need the external.
Here's what's funny. I randomly, because I did my oldest stepdaughter's wedding literally a year ago in October, and I needed two systems. I thought I did. I found somebody on Facebook Marketplace or whatever that was selling it was the MixTrack Pro 3. It was a newer generation than the one I used. My little Tonka toy one actually had a sound card inside. The newer one, the MixTrack 3, didn't.
They make them with and without.
Oh God!
So he had one
I didn't
without.
know that when I bought it from him, and then I was like, I still need a USB interface. I was like, this is bullshit, and I couldn't get it to map to virtual.
They
DJ.
do make them. They do make them with and without.
So I still have it. I just need to sell it because I'll never use it again. But the NS6 is all I need. I love that thing, and I that's what I use to DJ her wedding. It still works great. It still runs, and because I actually the one time I bought Virtual DJ Pro, I paid $300 for it. Every time there's an upgrade, I get it for free, so I still have it. And it always maps to the NS6, and that works great. I never have to buy because I'm essentially retired, like you are. Again, if something like that wedding comes
I'm not
up,
essentially retired
from DJing.
I'm 100% retired from DJing.
I mean, I'm more or less but like I did my stepdaughter's wedding. I have a coworker at Costco that's getting married next year that I think he's going to force me to do his wedding. But other than that, I don't. I'm much more because now I taught myself guitar over the pandemic, so I'm much more into that. But do you still have because you had a MixTrack Pro, you had DJ equipment.
I got a MixTrack Pro 2. I upgraded my laptop. I still have the same laptop.
Okay, so you still have the equipment.
I still have everything.
If you need it, and you have your music library. So if you needed it, you could.
My music's way outdated, but I can still make it work.
I know. I have not got new music since I stopped at Puffs, which was 2017 or 2018.
Mine's right before the pandemic. I'm good to 2020.
Yeah, you're a couple years ahead of me then. But we always know, we know the sites to go to if we need new music. You know, I mean, now if I don't want videos, I just get it from Amazon or something. But if I need videos, I can always go back to VJ Street or Video Tools.
I got everything from VJ Street.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's all still there. You can re-download it.
yes, and they have new music if you need it.
Right.
But yeah, so
We never use pirated music.
no, we actually paid for our gosh damn music. I mean, I did because I was using videos and I would buy them.
50% of that's true for me. And I may or may not have loaded up a hard drive for you in the past with that music.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right,
And
of course you don't.
did
That
I
doesn't
ever
exist.
Did I ever give you my library of music?
No, that would be illegal, and I don't do things illegal.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't. But yeah.
It's you.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, there was a lot of great times. I mean, that's also when me and Pam were first dating too. We went on at least a couple of the camping trips over. Was that 4th of July when you would do that?
Yeah.
Out past Mount Hood, or kind of by Mount Hood,
Up to Mount Hood off
of Welch's.
Lolo Pass Road.
Lolo Pass Road.
On the Zigzag River.
Every time I go by that exit, I look at it. I'm like,
Yeah, it's changed now. They've put a bunch of boulders up to where people can't drive down there.
yeah. I think I remember the last time I drove by that they had those boulders.
We would at least
there.
clean up after ourselves.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't that respectful. But
Well-
it was a great location because you were right by the river, and if you needed an outhouse, you could walk up the road to the Forest Service campground that
Right.
had an outhouse.
Right.
It was perfect. Oh my God, what did you call your group? The drinking buddy group. I forgot Buffalo.
The buffaloes.
Oh my God.
Once a buffalo, always a buffalo.
I'm having the flashbacks now of when you guys buffaloed Todd.
Oh, yeah. We buffaloed Todd, Dave, Angela, and Deuce that trip.
Oh my, what? And now this might be a good example of how we are very similar, but we have some differences. Because even back then, when I was in full party mode, being a DJ, hanging out in bars, even looking, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you? I was like, that was a line I wasn't going to cross. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
The fact that we never
point of
hurt
this.
anybody is incredible. We almost thought we poisoned Deuce. I'm sure she was poisoned.
Oh, man.
You know, we wait for you to get drunk, and then we want you in our drinking club. You have to take, it used to be a shot or a drink for each member. Well, there's too many people.
But as the membership grew,
It's too many. So we
Yes.
capped it at 8. But if you make an error in your drink, whatever you made an error on gets added to the end. So it was just...
And you all had to, wasn't the other rule that you had, if you were around buffaloes, you had
No.
to use your offhand?
No. At all times, you drink alcoholic beverages from your left hand.
Oh, it didn't
This-
matter whether you were
so-
left or right handed.
so
It had
let me-
to be your left hand.
Let me clarify this for all of 14 of your listeners.
Eventually, I'll be as big as Rogan. How dare you?
So the Buffalo Club is a college tradition that got taken from gunslingers back in the Old West. There was
There's
a
an
group
actual history to this?
that's a Wikipedia page. It's a thing.
Okay, yeah.
So these gunslingers would never drink with their right hand because they wanted it dry so they could sling, and they called themselves the Buffaloes.
But they needed to be able to grab their gun if
Right.
necessary.
So no drink in their hand, no moisture, no nothing. Drink with their left hand only. It was their thing. College kids got a hold of this, made it a drinking club.
I'm shocked that college kids did
Right.
that. On the same, on their way to solving, like, you know, the splitting the atom, they also took time in their college experience
Right.
to develop this game.
So then somebody made a National Buffalo Club, which I made us the point chapter for Oregon. That's where I had the medal membership cards. I
actually
take
did
everything
this.
too far.
You actually did this.
Yeah, so we were the point chapter for Oregon. And then
The Oregon chapter of the Buffalo Club.
we had a friend, and I'll shout out her name, Heather Harriman, who was a Buffalo in her college.
Heather was a Buffalo?
Not from our chapter. She
She
was
did that in college?
in college.
She's a gosh damn attorney.
So we adopted her because she was a member into ours. It's a nationwide, worldwide thing. There's celebrities that do this and everything. It's a thing.
I didn't know it was that big. I thought it
Right.
was just your guys' local little thing.
And then if you get caught drinking out of not your left hand,
Right.
whatever drink you have, no matter what it is, Ken,
you have to
put it
pound
on your mouth and finish it. If you can't finish it, you hold it to your mouth till it's gone.
Oh my God.
Now, if you're saying drinking a Consuela and you reach down with your right hand and grab the straw, that's a Buffalo.
And you have to finish the Consuela.
Finish the Consuela. Those are my favorites.
My God.
I got Deuce one time. Shout out to Deuce. Got Pete one time. Shout out to Pete. Got Rob Criswell. Shout out to Rob Criswell because he posted a picture of him doing it on Facebook. I messaged him Buffalo.
So wait a minute. Even if it wasn't happening in real time, if you caught
if I see a
photo
video
of something
of
they did a week ago,
Buffalo,
you could call them
and
out.
then that person knows you drink at the time of your choosing. Then I took it up another step.
Of course you did.
I added a military aspect to it, the challenge coin. So that if you didn't have your card on you and somebody card checked and threw their challenge coin, their card on the table, and whoever didn't have their card has to buy drinks for everybody. Now, if you do a card check and everybody has their card, you buy drinks for everybody.
Okay, so I'm so happy we're talking about this because this is a perfect example of that mentality that we were both in.
100%.
What the fuck were we? These are cringeworthy moments that I had my own embarrassing ones. I'm looking back. What the fuck was I thinking?
Now, when I became a Buffalo, I was like number 6
Yeah.
in the group. I wanted to wait till a few members came aboard, and I took all my shots and poured them into one glass and just chugged it and go, there, I'm in. Now we've made that a rule. You can't do that anymore.
So this is an example of, God, fun in the moment, and luckily nobody got seriously hurt. But I don't want to do too much of a deep dive on this, but God, we were in a different mentality back then.
100%.
It is, and it's so weird how the fuck we ended up there. It's, I guess, just being in that environment.
It's the whole environment.
I mean, if you're a DJ,
and I'm not bagging on that environment. It just sometimes, for certain people, it's just not a longevity kind of thing. It can be unhealthy.
Right.
If you can navigate it healthy, more power to you.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, if you can.
And there are a number of people that I know that do it healthy wise.
Yeah, if you can limit it to where you're not doing it 5 nights a week. You know what I mean? Or not going, even if you go out once every month, as long as you don't overdo it.
I wish I could have a drink with dinner, but I can't.
Yeah.
Because I have to drink till I stop.
Yeah.
That's my crutch.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it any way else, so I can't do it anymore. And I'm fine with that. When I stopped drinking, I was 47. My whole hashtag is next 47. So everything I do, I'm going to do different than I did the last 47 years. For my next 47, I'm doing things differently.
Yeah.
So everything I do has a sober mentality to it. I try to get on a plane once a year. I try to go places that I would never. I try to do things I would never do.
Yeah.
I'm going to get more money. I'm not going to get more time. So time is my currency with me.
And the bitch about the I mean, alcohol is a good example of it, but a lot of dependency issues, drugs and stuff. There's a reason why people do them, because unfortunately, they work.
It's easy.
Alcohol, well, but it works.
Yeah.
I have a bad day at work, come home, have a few beers, things feel better.
Sure.
That's why alcohol and other drugs can become addictive and are sometimes hard to kick.
And I wish I could have a cocktail sometimes on those hard days to ease into the rest of my night.
But it's not just going to be one.
It's not in the cards for me.
Yeah. Yep.
So once I came to terms with that, it was easier to stay sober.
Because you're not struggling against it. You're not fighting yourself.
You're not fighting that thirst of having that drink.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we did that, and that year, 2011, and I think by the end of it, I was farming it out to some other DJs, and then I finally got on at Costco and kind of just retired from Puffs. That would have been 20, because I got hired in Costco at 2017. I think I officially left Puffs, I think in March of 2018 is when I just was done with the contract. And you're still running, and you're still in the car sales, right?
Correct.
But I don't know, are you running a lot down in Portland here?
Yes, I'm the general manager of a car lot now.
Okay, that's what I thought. And you've been there, the same place for a while, right?
Yes.
You kind of specialize in full-size trucks.
Just trucks.
Oh, it's not just specializing, that's all it is.
That's all we do.
Okay. You show me some. Never mind. I'm not going to talk about that. Some of the great videos you've shown me from your work environment.
Oh, Portland is always giving you good video, and we found butt plugs on the lot. I have had bum orgies in the back on Suburbans I couldn't get locked. I come back there and see there's a bum orgy. In fact, we just sold a truck the other day where somebody said, somebody was burning something in the back of that truck. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, there's like paper burnt, like somebody was trying to stay warm. I'm like, does it have a canopy? And they're like, yeah, probably. Probably a canopy we didn't lock.
Oh my gosh.
So there's all kinds of things going on.
Yeah.
Nothing I feel bad for anybody about.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that.
No.
Trucks getting stolen, rammed into other trucks.
Oh, Jesus.
Go Portland.
But okay, so I do, because I follow you on Facebook, so I have seen you hang out with like Angela and her daughters a lot, it seems like.
Sure. Angela and I have been friends since day one at Puffs.
Because that's how you met. She was a bartender.
When I was there drinking. You know, I became
yeah.
friends with Angela.
Even before you started DJing, she was a bartender there?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she had Lily, and then I'm always around, and I just became Uncle Don, and now I'm just Uncle Don.
Gosh, how old is Lily now?
Oh, she's like 16. I hate it.
God, where do the years go? That means we're old.
I hate it. She still likes Star Wars and Marvel, though. I got her out of Barbies. Do you know why Lily likes Star Wars dolls so much? It's because of me.
Well, that's a healthy thing.
Well, we were drinking at Angela's place, and I took one of Lily's Barbies, and I took a Sharpie, and I made it into Bondage Barbie. Because that was hilarious.
Of course you did.
Until we wake up to Lily crying at like 3 years old, like what happened to her Barbie. So we're trying to scrub it with a magic eraser. By the time Angela's done, it's got no eyes, no eyebrows, no nothing.
Oh, my God.
So I go out and get her a new Barbie doll and everything. And then fast forward, my Vader doll.
Darth Vader.
Yeah. When Brandon was in town, and we was like, let's go to the Goodwill and buy one thing to take with us out drinking. And we find Anakin on a shelf. And then I'm over with Lily, and next thing you know, she's choking her Barbie dolls with it. So Lily started getting.
Was she doing the Darth Vader like choke from across the room?
I'll send you the picture. No, I'll send you the picture. She got him lined up against the wall with Anakin's hand out like this, going, the Barbies have been bad.
The force choke.
Right.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I've gotten that girl a lightsaber,
I've seen your lightsaber wars on
Luke Skywalker helmet. She is all Star Wars. Her whole room's Star Wars. She got so many collectibles right now. It's crazy. Like that, I got her that Red 5 helmet, and it was like $125 when it came out.
Oh my God.
Thing's worth like $400 now. It's a collectible. Insane.
Oh my God, that cracks me up. You mentioned Barbie. Have you seen the Barbie movie yet?
I did.
I want to. I haven't had a chance. I haven't seen a movie in the theater.
So there's a lot of messaging in the movie.
There is, but here's what's funny. I work in a tire shop at Costco. My coworkers, we have a sound system. At least once a week, they put on "I'm Just Ken." They play it for me.
Let me tell you, Ryan Gosling and doing Ken, I really enjoyed his character in the movie a lot.
I've heard it's pretty
basically, cool. They both go into the real world. Ryan Gosling sees how women are treated, goes back with a fur coat and a horse, and teaches all the men Ken dolls there how to treat Barbie dolls. And by the time Barbie gets back, all the girls are bringing all the Ken's brewskis, and they're watching these westerns, and they all got fur coats. And Barbie's like, you used to be on the Supreme Court. Well, yeah, I got to get Ken a brewski, though.
So there's
lots of messaging.
There's a lot of virtue signaling.
Yeah.
But I've heard it's a fun movie.
It's fun.
Just don't take it too seriously.
Correct.
Yeah. And the first 1,000 times my coworkers played that song, I was like, are you guys freaking kidding me? This is stupid. But now me and Pam went with our two of our friends, Sean and Craig, this past weekend. We had a weekend in Cannon Beach just to hang out. We love Cannon Beach. And now I'm kind of hooked on it. So we were sitting around the dinner table, and I pulled up the "I'm Just Ken" video, and I was playing it for them, and they are like, "Oh, Ken, stop! I don't want to hear this. This is stupid." And I was annoying them the whole weekend with that song. I kind of like it now.
There you go. That's the way it works.
It was a mental worm. Is that what they call it? An earworm or whatever that gets
earworm.
in there.
Yeah, once it's in there.
Because it's so annoying and stupid, but I kind of like the fact that it's my song. I'm Just Ken. I can't believe I'm talking about.
Is it your ringtone now?
That's funny you mentioned that, because I have several things I would like to make my ringtone or assign to when people call me. I don't know how to do that. You're the tech guy. I still don't know how to do that stuff. Like whenever I get a notification and it beeps, I want it to be Samuel L. Jackson. Mail, motherfucker.
We can make that happen before I leave. It's easy.
If you can, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. I mean, if I spent 5 minutes to try, I'd probably figure it out. But
you don't even want to know what my ringtone is?
Sure we do. Play it in front of the mic.
Oh, sure. Here you go.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked. That's a great question. It was me getting you to get me to do this.
I know. You're baiting me.
Yes, I'm totally baiting you. So have you seen this guy on the internet called The Kiffness, where he takes cats growling and making noise and turns them into songs?
I have not.
Oh, well.
Kind of like a mashup of cat growls.
It's like nothing you've ever heard.
I'm sure it's amazing. Right in front of the mic. He literally is taking cats meowing and stuff, gives it a vocal effect, but then he puts a beat to it.
Then he figures out what they're saying and puts words to it. And it's thank God for the internet. What would we do without it?
Or technology.
So he did one of this one cat, and then he sent it around the world, and different artists from different parts of the world
would interpret it
into their own instrument, and then he put it all together.
See, this is an example of why technology and the internet can be used for good. It's used for a lot of bad, but it can also be a good thing. It unites people, and what could be better than cats meowing?
Right.
Or puppies.
And then I'll make a TikTok that I do, and I make a lot of videos. It's my scrapbooking.
Right.
Okay, and then all of a sudden it's got 30,000 hits. I'm like, how did I even do that?
Right. Well, it's because you were doing it, and I'm not getting those kind of hits, but it's the reason I'm doing this. It's a passion project. You don't care if anybody watches it. You're doing it because you enjoy it.
Like I do all these. I put so much effort into my drone videos and do this big production.
Yeah.
And they get 400 hits. I don't care. They're there for me. I watch them and relive it.
Yeah.
I look at my first ones going, what a noob. What were you thinking? And then I make this video of the Mandalorian getting his spaceship. Okay. And I edit it to the beginning of Top Gun. Okay. And the highway to the danger zone of him going through Beggar's Canyon has got 140,000 hits. It's just insane. I thought it would be cool, because I'll watch a movie or something and go, I could edit this better and do my own edit. And then I'll put, like I did this one edit of the show Picard with the Enterprise flying into the Borg.
Yep.
Okay, so I Need a Hero. Because it was data driving it. And that got
80s song, I Need a Hero.
Right. And that got like 40 or 50,000 hits.
Oh and you're not even...
and that's nothing compared to the internet.
You're not even promoting it.
No, I just put it on my channel.
It just gets that many hits.
Right.
Oh, my God. And it's funny you mentioned it's kind of the way you scrapbook. I have also found... because I've done some solo episodes. I have several that I haven't even posted, but that's almost my way of journaling. Instead of me,
it's like a diary.
I'm not the kind that's going to write it down on paper, but if I can just sit in front of a mic and talk about stuff, even if I don't post it, it's therapeutic. And you're scrapbooking.
My droning is part of me getting outside, going places I want to go, and I got a drone during COVID. You can't be outside. I've always wanted a drone. I can't be inside anymore. I'm going to go get a drone. Go outside.
You find yourself watching it back?
All the time.
Like every podcast episode I've done, I've watched them all back at least 7 or 8 times. I don't know why, but it'll just be at the end of the night before I go to. Well, also when I'm in the moment recording, I'm gonna miss a lot of stuff. But I really enjoy listening because obviously every episode that I do, it's with somebody that I either care about a lot because I know them, or it's somebody new that I just met that I just think is interesting. And listening back, I pick up so much stuff that I didn't get the first time.
I'm going to give you an idea, and you can take it as your own.
Well, it's documented, so if it blows up, I'll have to pay your residuals.
You need to interview someone you don't like.
Oh.
Somebody that you just don't have a connection with. Let's do the next guy walking in the street. Get in here and let's interview you.
That's funny you mentioned that. I've had the thought of doing that just with random people. I wouldn't purposely somebody I don't like, but a stranger. Yeah. I mean, I've kind of done that with several coworkers that I only knew in passing at work, and then we sat down and I learned so much from them. But it wasn't people that I didn't like. You know what I mean?
If there's somebody you just didn't like, that'd be great.
Oh, gosh.
We're not going to name names.
No, we're not going to, but I'm sure I could think of some people, yeah.
I could name one person, actually, I would love to interview that I do not like. Would you like to know the name? I'd love to share it with you.
If you want to say it. Or you
Eli Manning.
Yes, you like Eli Manning.
Son of a bitch.
Stop it. He's a cool MFer.
I don't even like him on the Manning cast.
You can't not like him.
I don't like him.
Stop it. He's awesome.
I don't like him.
That's because he beat Tom twice.
He didn't beat him. Tom's team let him down.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. Yes, I don't know if I did the shout out, but that's also something I have to do. I don't think I got to it because we just started talking, but it's a running thing every episode. I have to give a shout out to Tom Brady, Patriots Rule, Kenny Chesney, No Shoes Nation. Yes, the joke there is that
name's Thomas Edward Brady.
Stop it. I used to do it when I was a guest on my daughter's podcast, and she would edit it out. So now I have to do a shout out every of my episodes because she can't edit it out.
Well, it is her podcast. She has creative content. And if she doesn't want it to be good, that's fine. She can edit that out.
I'm not going to let her know you said that.
It's not going to be edited. That's part of this.
Everybody has their own little lane they have to travel.
Do you remember when Facebook let you put pictures on businesses? And I would put a picture of Tom Brady shirtless on every business in Gresham.
Was that Facebook or was it Google?
No, it was Facebook.
Oh my God, that was the best.
Right. Every place, post office, every place I could. And it would
Random
stick.
businesses with
Right.
a picture of Tom Brady shirtless hugging the football.
Right, yeah. And people would tag me in it. Did you do this? 100%.
Oh my God, that was
I've
one
been
of the
breaking the internet since the internet's been around.
That was one of the best gags ever, dude. Oh my God. I totally forgot about that. And then you photoshopped yourself hugging Tom Brady, who was shirtless with a football.
Of course I did. It's one of the greatest ones ever.
Oh my God. Dude,
I should put that on a canvas and send it to you guys for Christmas.
You should. I would. Quick sidebar. I have another coworker that I work with at Costco. Her father passed last year, but he was I'm just learning this, a lifetime Patriots fan. And apparently he had collected so much just Patriots swag and memorabilia and clothing and blankets and decorations. So as they're going through all his supplies, a lot of it was never even opened. It was like brand new.
Wow.
She literally brings me boxes. I have so much Patriot gear now. If I need to, at some point, if Pam will let me, I need to find a part of the house to have a man cave because I could decorate an entire room.
The only thing I don't have a lot of, I have like 9 jerseys. I have my Patriots tattoo, but I was drinking at Dundee's in Seaside. You ever been there?
Is it?
It's on the boardwalk.
On the
Pizza on the boardwalk. It's only pizza.
Dundee's.
It's called Dundee's.
How close to the roundabout at the beach?
Far.
So
It's at the other end.
It's at the other end.
On
Okay.
that street, though.
Okay.
So I'm in there with Pete. We're having pizza, and this guy's sweeping and everything. And I think I'm talking about Patriots. I have a Tom Brady jersey autographed hanging up.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is cool. It's a Patriots bar. And I show him my tattoo. And before we leave, he's
That's
like,
not
hey.
the one that's by the river.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
By the bridge.
Yes.
I've been in there. I know what you're talking about.
So and this guy comes up to me and says, I got something for you I want you to have. I'm like, okay. And he comes back with a case of glasses, Bud Light Patriot logo. He goes, I got these from a bar in Boston. You can have them because I don't meet any true Patriot fans. So I still have those glasses.
That is so cool.
Evidently, he was the owner.
That
And I'm
is
just-
super cool.
Also goes to show you, always be nice to everybody. You never know who you're talking
You never
to.
know who you're talking to, and you never know what's going to come from it. And
Nope.
that's kind of the same thing with Becca's even said that. And her mom has seen me because I'll like put stuff on my wall and send photos and tag her. And her and her mom are both like, we are just happy because otherwise it would just go to Goodwill. But she's like, it's so hard to find Patriot fans out here.
Right.
Yeah. And it's also, I'm sure it's part of the healing that they can go through their dad's stuff and
Well, if you can give it to somebody that will
that
appreciate
actually
it.
cares.
Right.
Yeah, that's part of the healing process. Yeah, and Becca is such a sweetheart. And yeah, she just last week, a whole box of stuff. And I was like, I feel like bad. Should I take all this? I feel greedy. She's like, no, it's just going to go to Goodwill if you don't take it. I'm like, okay, I got it. I will use it, man, and I'll wear it proudly.
Right. You got to.
It's friggin' awesome, dude. Oh, my gosh. All right, we will wrap up this episode, but we're definitely going to have to do another one because there's a lot more I want to talk to you about.
We got a lot.
Oh, I do always ask, I come in live, we just record it. I don't edit unless you said anything that you don't want on there. I don't think you did. But I can give you, you don't have your laptop with you. I can share it on Google Drive if you want to review it before I post it.
I'm good.
Do
I
have
was
your
here. I was
permission?
here for everything. I remember it.
So I knew it. Well, okay. 6 or 7 years ago, neither me or you could make that statement. I wouldn't remember what I did 5 minutes
we
ago.
would be doing Tic Tacs.
Yes.
And then if Pam was here, we'd be doing Vegas bombs,
Vegas ball.
which
And then she
we would
be in
find
the
her
bathroom.
naked in the
She
bathroom.
would be naked in the bathroom.
Speaking of, let's talk about that night.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about that night as we'll conclude. Pam, I'm sorry.
I know it's fine.
Okay.
And
So
then it was a year or two later, where we were in the same rental house with her friends Shannon and Sean. I think we were pre-funking before going to a concert, and we were messaging you or something, and you had that great response where you sent a photo of a toilet and was like, "Hey, open lid and insert Pam here."
right. So it's a snow day. I show up at Puff's. You're like, this bar's closing down. You want to come over for a snow day drinking fest? I'm like,
Jesus, it was one of the snow days.
yeah. And I'm like, I got nothing else to do. Let's go.
And didn't Oso Fresh come over that night?
Later. So I show up over there. We go to like Walgreens and get liquor because Washington's great. You can do
You
that.
can buy that everywhere.
And then Pam starts making Vegas bombs.
Oh God, that's right.
And we're slamming them like, Pam, you don't drink like I drink. Slow down.
You tried to warn her.
You were probably in there. I was telling her, take it easy.
I was, oh my God.
You're little. I know you're drinking. It's not going to end well. So then you got Oso Fresh, and maybe another DJ come over.
No, it was just Oso Fresh.
And I'm hammered, and I'm playing on. I think I don't know if I got my setup or yours, but I'm playing.
No, I had mine, and you might have brought
and
yours.
I'm hyping myself up. I remember I'm like, oh, it's going to go down. I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it. Oso just looks at me and goes, if it's not going to be good, don't do it.
Oh my God, that was the best.
And I'm like,
Because if it's gonna suck, don't fucking do
he was
it.
dead ass serious.
He was.
Okay, so I took a break. I was like, I go to the bathroom. I go in the bathroom. There's Pam naked, crying, and I'm like, I start to help her. I'm like, this is not gonna look good if somebody comes in. So I'm just gonna go get Ken, and I'm like, Ken, I had nothing to do with what you're gonna find in this bathroom. I happened upon it. Please go tend to
You
Pam.
came out and said, "Okay, this is a boyfriend moment. I need you."
I had nothing to do with this. You got to go in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Poor
So
Pam.
poor Pam. Vegas bombs.
It's all we have learned. We've evolved past those, and we stopped doing that stuff now. Oh my God. There's some great stories there, and it's all part of growing up.
It's all part of growing up.
It's all part. We're finally. Are we finally adults now?
I never had my 20s. I went
I didn't either.
right into fatherhood and working 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
So when I was no longer married and my kids were pretty much grown, and in my
Yeah.
40s, that's when I got buck wild and made all the 20s mistakes.
Dude, oh my God, we definitely have that in common. I
All the
lived
mistakes.
my 20s in my late 30s and into my 40s. That's Jesus. What is wrong with us? Okay.
It is what it is.
But we're both amazing
We
human
have
beings now.
different arcs than a lot of people have.
But we ended up in a good place and a better place, I think.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, my life's just getting.
I'm
better
not
and
unhappy
better.
with where I am in life.
No, me neither. And it is funny though, reconnecting with. I mean, I never lost connection with you, but obviously, as we're not in the bar thing anymore, we don't see each other as much. But with this change in my lifestyle, I'm starting to appreciate the good people more, and I'm enjoying reconnecting on a different level with them, where it's not at Puff's Pub or I'm not going to any bar. It's not specific to Puff's.
Sure.
Yeah, but reconnecting with them in a healthier environment and in a different place in life. And yeah.
Well, just goes to show you when we started this, I talked about everybody was your friend and we love you, and then you stop drinking and they're not.
Yeah.
Except for the real people like yourself. We stayed in touch.
Yeah.
We see each other when we can.
Yeah.
And all the other filler, goes to the
Ancillary
wayside.
people.
It's just filler that you thought, were your family,
Right,
your
but
people.
once you get out of that
Yeah.
world.
And it's just not a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for doing this. I'm going to stop it now, but we're definitely going to have to do it again. And we'll see if we can talk Pam, and we'll do a three-person one. That would be
Yes.
awesome. And then you guys can debate who won the Tic Tac challenge.
Oh, I think we know who won that.